Hey everybody, happy Friday. I am so glad that you are here with me today. Today's topic is something that's really important when it comes to managing chronic pain, and that is resilience. I know you know that pain is hard to live with, but building your resilience can help you and me to live a bigger, fuller life in the midst of the pain while we're trying to get rid of it. So the goal for now isn't necessarily to get rid of the pain, but it's to grow our lives bigger within what we're experiencing. I know that's not typically what people are looking for, but it really is one of the ways that we can stop suffering so much with our chronic pain while we are trying to solve our issues. Okay. So, what is resilience? Well, I think of it kind of like a superpower. Like it is the power within us that helps us adapt, endure, grow, even when life kind of sucks. So think of resilience as part of your toolkit for handling your pain. It's not just something that you have or you don't have. It really truly is something that you can learn and you can strengthen over time. Anybody can do it. Okay. Resilience doesn't mean being invincible. It's about adapting to what is happening to you. And the better that we adapt, the more resilience that we have. Um, One of my favorite definitions of resilience comes from psychologist Anne Maston, and she describes resilience as the successful adaptation despite challenging or threatening circumstances. The successful adaptation despite crap that's going on, right? It's bouncing back. It's learning to thrive in whatever environment we are given and going through. And I know that that's hard. And Lord knows I've been in some pretty shitty environments that while I have been working to change the environment that I am in, I have also learned that I can indeed survive. I can make it through, right? I can make it through that environment. So I'd like to share a story with you about um, about this woman named Mary. Okay, so Mary was going through some really tough times when her mom and dad split up and moved away, and she was devastated. But over time, she found strength inside of those struggles. She found strength in realizing that she could adapt. And she leaned on her community. She practiced taking care of herself. And she found peace in the middle of all of this chaos. Mary didn't just bounce back, but she grew stronger because of what she went through. That's resilience. So, just like Mary, you and I have that same ability. It's something that we built and it's strengthened over time. And it really, truly is a game changer. If you think about that definition, being able to successfully adapt, right? To successfully adapt. That's really what I mean, when we say we want our lives back, isn't that isn't that a version of what we mean? That my life sucks. I've had all this stuff taken away. I can't do the things that I used to do, or I don't know how to do them in this body, in this circumstance. And what if you figure out ways to do those things? You figure out ways to successfully adapt. That's what I help my clients do all the time. And I tell you what, whether or not their pain changes, when their life changes, that's some magic. You know what? They will all tell you they don't really care about their pain as much. Sure, they'd love to be out of it. And I love it when my clients end up out of pain, but we don't know who that's going to be and who that's not going to be, which is why it's never my goal, right? My goal is always to help you expand your life because that is what's worth living for. When we're constantly in this cycle of trying to get rid of the pain, it's really hard to successfully adapt to something that you're 100% focused on getting rid of. You know what I mean? And that's why there's so much suffering, is because you're stuck in this circle of trying to get rid of something so you're not focused on how to adapt to it. And most often, Don't hate me, but most often it is through the adapting that we lower the pain. That's why resilience is so important. We have to be more than our pain. We have to be. If all we are is our pain and the quest to get rid of it, there's nothing left to our lives. And who wants that? I mean, nobody, right? Look, you guys know I love to read research, and I try to share it here in as boiled down version as I can. But I recently read a study that showed people with chronic pain that had higher levels of resilience, the ability to successfully cope with whatever you're doing, right? Actually had a better quality of life, both physically and mentally. Now, here's the kicker. Their pain levels weren't any different from others, but they did feel better. Why? Because they were more adaptable. They were more willing to roll with the punches, if you will. Resilience will not make your pain disappear, but can sure make your life bigger than the pain that you're experiencing. And this is what my clients see all the time. In my coaching program, Moving Beyond Pain, that will open again, it opens in January and July of every year. We spend a lot of time talking about resilience. We spend a lot of time figuring out how to get back to the things that you love, even if that means doing it differently than before. Adaptability is a big part of resilience. Well, what are signs that you're building resilience? Things like flexibility, emotional awareness, having a purpose, and a support network. Those traits do not mean that hard times won't come. It doesn't mean that things aren't going to be hard. It doesn't mean that things aren't going to, be painful. All it means is you're going to be able to handle them. So how do we build resilience? Like, how do we actively build resilience? Let me give you a few tips. Okay. First, develop a support network. Have people in your corner who understand you, that you do not have to explain yourself to, that are your cheerleaders. Family, friends, religious community, gaming community, online community. I don't care. I mean, I do care. I care. But like, it does not matter what this community is, as long as they are people that love you, understand you, and help you stay grounded, right? Second thing that builds resilience, we're going to challenge those negative thoughts. Those thoughts, the ones that say, I can't do this, I'm never going to feel better, it's always going to be like this, what if it gets worse, right? Like, and my thoughts like that do tend to speak in a ghost like, ooh, in my head. Those thoughts are not helping you. Let's try thinking differently when those, like, catch those thoughts, right? There's a TikToker that I watch that does gentle parenting, like in skit form, and she always says, "Oh no, catch a bubble, catch a bubble," and like that's when she means catch a thought, and like don't say it out loud. Like these are not things that we say out loud, and so I am amused by that. But in any way, catch a bubble. Like, I can't do this. How about I'm unable to do this the way I want right now? How about I'll never feel better? How about today is really bad, but I know I've felt better than this in other days past. So it sucks right now, but it might not tomorrow, right? We have to the more that we can stop taking things to like the end of the world, researchers call that catastrophizing. I call it pain-related thinking. But in any case, the more that we can catch those thoughts, put them in a bubble, the better able we are to stop and think and like recognize, hey, maybe this isn't that bad. Like, it's not great, but it's not gonna like be for always, right? Okay. Third, practice self-care, self-love, self-care, time for yourself, time for the body and the mind, right? I don't just mean bubble baths. Like, that's great if that like recharges you on every level, but I'm talking about self-care in the terms of get enough sleep, move your body in ways that feel good, feed your brain, feed your creativity, take care of yourself, and that will help you build inner strength. because especially us women, we have a tendency to focus on everything else around us and ignore ourselves. And that is only going to make our pain grow. That is not going to help us. Okay, just saying. All right. Fourth, create positive habits. Okay, this is like, right? When you set small, achievable goals and you reach them, that is building resilience because you are proving to yourself that you indeed can do the things, right? And then the next time you think, I can't do this, you have evidence that says that you can. It says you can do this. Pain has a way of taking away our belief in ourselves as well. And when we can reach small goals, we get all kinds of yummy chemicals, we get dopamine, we get serotonin, right? We get all the happy stuff. And that helps us to keep going. Create small, achievable goals and meet them. This builds confidence and resilience because you are adapting to your situation, no matter what it is. And finally, find some purpose. If you hear me say nothing else, find your purpose in this new version of you, in this body that you're living in right now. Have meaning in your life. You have to have meaning in your life to keep going. Something to work towards, something to look forward to can make a huge difference. Did you know the act of planning a trip, like your dream trip, is almost as good as actually going on it as far as your brain is concerned and all of the yummy chemicals that we get? So plan your dream trip, even if you're not going to take it. That's the goal, right? The goal then becomes planning the trip, not taking the trip, right? Find your purpose. I am currently in the midst of a project that I probably should not have taken on. I decided I was going to crochet a granny square blanket, and it requires 143 squares. And I don't know why I thought my attention span would be long enough to do 143 of the same thing over and over and over again. My son even warned me and he was like, Mom, are you sure you want to do that 143 times? And I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. I'm not even halfway through yet, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm questioning my sanity. But it's going to be awesome when it's done. So I'm going to keep looking forward to that. That's my project. That's my sense of purpose right now is creating these little squares. Maybe you think that's crazy. That's fine. I'm totally okay with that. But the point is, I have something to look forward to the next day. I have a purpose that helps me feel empowered, and it helps me to manage everything that's going on in my life. It's a good thing for me, and it's not huge, right? Like, I mean, obviously through my work, sharing with you here and through Restoring Venus, I have tons and tons of purpose, but I also need little projects that help me see success. So remember this. Resilience, it's like a muscle. And the more we work at it, the stronger it gets. And when it comes to managing pain, that particular strength can help you stay connected to the things that really matter, even when pain is present. Remember, resilience isn't about getting rid of the pain. It's about living fully and adapting to what you've been given. I know that you are stronger than you think you are. I know you are. And if you need some support on this journey, you know what? I'd love to help you. Let's look into a one-on-one coaching package or some coaching along with one of my do-it-yourself classes, right? My goal is to help you in the way that you need help, to grow beyond your pain and grow your life bigger. You can check the link below if you want to check out some time with me. There's a free discovery call that I'm going to link below today. And you just click that link and we'll spend some time together and we'll talk about your pain and we'll talk about what I can and can't do for you. Okay. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on living well with pain. And remember, you've got this.